book lovers, and welcome back to a new video. And I'm actually not at home, I'm on vacation, and I thought this would be the perfect time to talk about my summer TBR, because I actually brought, I think, almost all the books that I want to read with me on vacation. Will I read them all here? To be seen. My summer TBR is not massively long because really we're only talking about books that I consider summer reads, that give summer vibes, and that I feel like I can't read in any other season. I'm going to start with a book that I actually already started. So that is You with the View by Jessica Joyce, and I've seen this book around a little bit, and I do remember seeing like really good reviews. In this book you go on a road trip with our main characters, who is Noelle, who's still grieving the loss of her grandma, and she found out that her grandma actually, before, you know, her granddad and that, had a love affair with this guy, and it seemed pretty intense and she wants to find out about it. So she's going out looking for that guy, and when she finds him, she also finds her high school enemy, who is actually the grandson of Paul, and they all go on this road trip together to find out more about the past. So this book is a bit more plot heavy, and especially if you like not only the focus to be on the romance but also have other plot lines, then I think you would really enjoy this. And not that this is like super summery, I think you could also read this. Obviously all of these books you could read at other seasons, not everyone is as obsessed to embrace the season like I am, but I feel like with the road trip element, and I think it is the summer time in here, it's just really nice to read on a vacation, for example. The next up, and I'm just picking up the books here, there's no real order, is Beach Rival by Georgie Tilney. I know absolutely nothing about this book. I literally just saw it and was like, ooh, I'm going to the beach. Maybe this could be a book for me. And you will see a theme here. I love going into books blindly, so I don't know a ton of these books. But it says, ooh, escape to Bali with this year's most feel-good rom-com. Okay, didn't even know that. But apparently they're going to Bali. Let's see. Claire thought that by now she would have her life figured out. Instead, she's living with her mom, working a job she hates, and has absolutely no idea what she wants to do with the rest of her life. Well, who knows that really? When she sees a viral job advert for a 3-month bookseller position on a Bali beach, she jumps at the chance. But it's not until she arrives in Bali that Claire realizes she won't be working in the bookstore alone. It also says, perfect for fans of Emily Henry, Beach Rivals is a slow burn, enemies to lovers rom-com that will sweep you off your feet. So this does sound really, really good. I will say though, to say this is for fans of Emily Henry, I feel like this is almost a recipe to put you up for failure, because Emily Henry's books are so well loved. But I will get back to you once I've read this, and we'll see if this is really for Emily Henry fans. But you know, I think the cover, the story gives beach vibes, vacation vibes. And I do love myself a good enemy to lover stories, and yes, I think you can also have that in a romance, even if it's not as intense as in fantasy. Then my next book is actually a recommendation I got from one of you guys, and that is One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware. I also don't really know anything about this, but this is actually like a thriller slash mystery, and I have a bunch of romance here, so I really wanted something else as well, and I find thrillers much more difficult to read during the summer, like to have, you know, a specific summer thriller. Usually I read thrillers around the fall and winter season, but when I read the comment about this book I thought, oh, let's check it out, because it says 10 Islanders, a deadly game, are you a survivor or a traitor? And you can also see, I'm a bit far away, but the cover also already gives like beach vibes. And yeah, I basically just thought, if I'm not in the mood for a romance, then at least I have something else for the summer that still gives summer vibes, but also a thriller. The next book, I was influenced by the author actually, because a reel came up on my feed and it was so good that I was like, let's just try it out. And that is Summer in the City by Alex Esther. Since then I follow her on Instagram, and I think she's so funny. And she's actually the author of the Lightlark series, if I'm correct. Maybe let me put the first book up. And I'm always really interested when an author switches genre or tries out, you know, something different. And I kind of seen Lightlark around, if that's the name of the series, and I've been intrigued. And if I like this, I will definitely go and read that as well. But I haven't really been in a big fantasy mood lately. And also look at this beautiful pink cover. It says Summer in the City. So it's a perfect summer read. I have no idea what this is about. Like literally I just saw that one reel and I was like, yep, I think I'm going to buy this. I know this place in New York, and Elle is a screenplay writer who has a writer's block, and she bumps into her neighbor Parker Warren. He's the city's favorite handsome tech billionaire. We love a guy like that. And he's also the guy Elle hooked up with in a stairwell 2 years ago. Okay, that sounds really promising, and I'm very excited to dive into this one in the summer. Next up I have the new release by Ashley Herring Blake, and that is Dream On Ramona Riley. Also, let me show you the cover up close because this is so beautiful. I think I'll put some snippets in of all these covers because that is also something else I love of like these summery books. They just, they're so pretty, and I love pretty things. Anyway, I love Ashley Herring Blake's writing a lot, and I've actually just finished her Bright Falls series, and I think if the Bright Falls series was actually her first series, because this is all her other books, then actually with this I would have read all her books. I mean, there's 5 in total. I don't know if she wrote something else that isn't in here, but yeah, as I said, I really enjoy her writing, and also a lot of her books I actually listen to as an audiobook, and I'm not a huge audiobook fan. I think why I enjoy them also as audiobooks is that this is not written in first person but in third person, and I don't know, like then I don't mind the audiobook as much because I don't love reading third person. It's not that it bothers me deeply, but it's a thing. And again, I have no idea what this is about. If I like an author, I will just buy their new release. I don't really care too much what it's about. But it says, a small town waitress and a Hollywood star's world collide in this new romance by Ashley Herring Blake. Ooh, so we probably have like an opposites attract, one of you is famous, and I actually love that trope when it's done really well. And I feel like that Ashley Herring Blake's couples are always so well suited for each other. Like it feels a bit like puzzle pieces. It's like literally giving you're made for me vibes. And also one other thing that is always important to me, but especially in the summertime and you know when you read outside, I love floppy books. And this is super floppy and just great to read on vacation or, you know, in the summertime outside. Then I actually have an author on my radar that I would really love to try out, and that is Annabelle Monaghan. I actually have 2 books by her here. That is Summer Romance, and the other one, it's a love story, which is her newest release that just came out. And this is actually also on my monthly TBR. I would love to get to both of them, and especially if the author decides to put summer in the title, I will only read it in summer. Like if I won't get to this summer, I will wait until next summer. But I'm really excited to dive into her writing because I heard incredible things about her books, and her books are also around the 300-page mark, and I think it's a great talent if you give us a 300-page romance that has deep emotions, deep connections. And I only know a handful of authors that can do that, and I hope that Annabelle Monaghan will be one of them. And yeah, I'm just super excited about these 2. I also don't know anything about them, but I would love to go into them blindly. I think this one, the main character also deals a bit with grief, but overall, come on, these covers just really give summer vibes, and I am so excited to lay at the beach and read one of them. Then one of my highly anticipated books that I really want to read this summer is Problematic Summer Romance by Ellie Hazelwood. Ellie Hazelwood is the only author this year who gave me a 5-star. I only had 1 5-star this year, which really shows that it's not been the best reading year, and I have high hopes that she can do it again. I also love how floppy this book is. Like this, I'm just so excited for this book. Believe it or not, I don't know what this is about. I also feel like that this cover is different from her other covers, and all her releases from like the last 2 years have been a bit different than her first like STEM romances, but I love that chick. Like I think she's really brilliant for trying out so many new things. I actually just did an author's guide for Ellie Hazelwood where I also ranked all her books. I'm excited to see where this one will fit in. I will leave that video linked down below. But wait, Maya Kilgore is 23 and still in the process of figuring out her life. Connor Harkness. Oh, actually I think like Ellie Hazelwood has only standalones so far. But I think that this is actually an interconnected standalone with Not in Love by her, which was her contemporary romance release from last year. Not that you have to read this, but it's kind of like the first time that I see names here that I recognize from her other books, because Maya Kilgore is the sister of the guy from Not in Love. And I'm just excited to dive into another book by Ellie Hazelwood. This is also very high on the pile of my summer TBR. Next up, I have Sunshine Kisses by Kelly L. Clark. I actually don't know anything about this author. I haven't seen anything by this author before. I haven't heard anything about this book before, so this is really more or less a blind pickup. But I think that this is actually a best friends to lovers romance, and I don't have a lot of them. I wanted to try this out because I would love to give some good friends to lovers recommendations, and I mean, Sunshine Kisses just gives summery vibes. I also enjoy the cover. When they spend a week in the close proximity of a holiday with their respective and ever so slightly meddling families, the connection that has always existed between them begins to heat up. So we also have a little holiday in here. Just speaks more to this book being great for the summertime. The next book that I put on my summer TBR is not that I will only read it in summer, but I really wanted one of her books during this month, and that is Reckless by Elsie Silver, because I think that Elsie Silver's writing is just so easy, so light. You have steamy scenes, but you also have deep connections. You have just a great romance overall, even though I haven't loved all her books, but generally I really enjoy her writing. And I think with the Chestnut Spring series, to throw in a cowboy romance during your summer is just an obvious choice for me. And I'm actually really excited for Reckless. This is the 4th book in the Chestnut Spring series, and this is between Winter and Theo, and I've been waiting for that couple. I think this could rival Heartless, which is my favorite book by Elsie Silver and my favorite couple, but I think that these have the potential at least to be on the same level. I don't know if we can ever top Heartless, but I'm very excited about this, even though this has a trope that I really don't like, and that is accidental pregnancy. But everything I've seen about these two characters so far just gives me the vibe that I will really love this, so I'm super excited for this. Also, Mercedes, if you're watching, because we're buddy reading this series, let's read this summer. And the last book that I have here for the summer, besides one more on my Kindle, is a classic, and that is Emma by Jane Austen. I actually consider classics for me to be like fall and winter reads. Don't ask me why, that's just when I get the vibe. And I have the goal to read at least one Jane Austen book each year because I really enjoy her books. Like, I've read 2 so far, but I really like them. It's just that because it's a classic and the English is a bit more difficult, I'm quite intimidated to read them, and I don't want to wait until later the year to read it, because last year I then didn't get to my Jane Austen book. So when I saw this copy of Emma, I was like, come on, this is really giving summer vibes, and I will take it. Like, this cover makes me want to read Emma so much. I also saw the other covers. This is from the Penguin Publishing House, and I love these covers. Like, they're so fresh and, again, summery. And then I also saw that actually there's a foreword by Tessa Bailey, which really surprised me, because Tessa Bailey is this like really steamy romance author. I love Tessa Bailey's writing, so I love that I get her foreword in this. And this is definitely not a guarantee whether I will read it this summer or not, but I would really love to. And yeah, I hope that the cover will help in all of that. So my last book on my summer TBR, I don't have physically. I probably will read it on my Kindle, but overall it's always smart to have a Kindle, especially on a vacation, because you know, summer means sea, pool, water, and your books could get wet. So on my Kindle, I would love to read My Favorite Bad Decision by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I don't have my phone with me right now to look up what this book is about, but I love Elizabeth O'Rourke's writing. I think that her Grumpy Devil series is one of the best, and overall that series, and also there is a summer series where summer is in the name, I think are great romances for the summer. So when I saw her new release coming out, I was like, yes, I was immediately putting that on my summer TBR, because her books are just so fun, usually quite short, but you still get a lot of deep emotions, you get great characters, you get great conflicts, like great topics she talks about without dragging anything out. Like, if you want something quick and that really gets you, I really recommend her books. And I would argue that her books are probably also great to get you out of a reading slump because they are so quick. So yes, I wanted to put that one on my TBR as well. And I'm feeling so good this year about my summer TBR. Obviously, there are going to be other books that I will read in between. These are just specific books that I see myself only reading in the summertime. I'm excited. Like, I want my reading year to pick up. I see myself having some 5 stars in here. And also, to give you an outlook on the future, I'm filming a little reading vlog on vacation, so you'll see probably some of these books featured in the next video that's coming out next Sunday. But for now, thanks for hanging out with me. Let me definitely know what you're going to read this summer in the comments. And other than that, give this video a like. And also, if you like this, help out this little booktuber by subscribing, and for more bookish content in the future. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!